The night shift at the Gorge Road Hospital was never quiet, not because of the noise, but because of what you felt when the lights dimmed and the hallways emptied. Even in a city like Victoria steeped in ghost stories, the Gorge Road has a reputation. Ask any long-term nurse, cleaner, or support staff, and they'll drop their voice before telling you, "Watch out for Waterview. That's where she walks." I never believed in ghosts. I was a freshly hired carried, just 23, with a practical mind and a need for a paycheck. Ghosts were for tourists and tea leaf readers. So, when I was assigned to a night shift on that long term care wing, I nodded, smiled, and laughed off the warnings from the older staff. "Don't look in the mirror outside of room 114 after midnight," they said. "If you feel a cold draft and hear whispers, don't follow it. Or if you see a woman in a pale blue hospital gown, don't speak to her." I assumed they were just trying to scare the new girl. The first week passed uneventfully, minus an odd creak or a flickering light, nothing my skeptical mind couldn't chalk up to being just an old building. But on the sixth night, just after 2 a.m., I was charting in the nurse's station when I heard it, bare feet shuffling on tile. Not the soft rustle of sleeping patients. It was purposeful, dragging, almost hesitant. I stood up and peered down the corridor. The lights flickered. When they stabilized, I saw her. A woman, thin, pale, dressed in a faded blue hospital gown, was standing near the locked exit door at the end of Waterview. Her hair hung long and wet, as if she'd just come in from the storm. Her face had turned slightly, as though she was listening to something. I called out, "Ma'am, can I help you?" She didn't respond. She just drifted. Not walked, drifted through the door, without opening them. I blinked, and my body rooted in its place. I heard the low hum of electricity, then a whisper, real whisper, right behind me. She never left. I turned. No one was there. The next morning, I asked one of the senior nurses, Lolita, if a resident had passed away recently in the hallway. Her eyes narrowed. "You saw her, didn't you?" she said flatly. "The woman in blue." I nodded hesitantly. She sat beside me in the break room and told me a story from nearly 30 years ago. A woman named Marjorie Ellis had been a patient on the unit, placed in long term care after complications from a stroke. She didn't have any family left. She rarely spoke, but she smiled. She was very kind. Until one morning when she was found in her room, eyes wide open, lips blue, her body already cold. The coroner said it was natural causes. But the odd part was the door had been locked from the inside and there was a bloody handprint on the mirror. Her death was never fully explained. After Marjorie's passing, strange things began happening, Lolita continued. Lights in her old room would flicker. The alarm bells would go off inside. Residents reported a woman standing at the foot of their bed crying. One even said she held her hand through the night, only to vanish at sunrise. Lolita's voice dropped. One night, I swear, I saw her walking into the medroom. When I followed her into the room, it was ice cold. The medcart drawers had been dumped on the floor. I had to throw everything out. I listened, half horrified and half fascinated. I should have transferred units, but something pulled me back to Waterview. Curiosity? Defiance? Maybe it was something else. 2 nights later, I was making rounds near room 114, the one with the infamous mirror. When I saw it again, her reflection. Even though I was alone, there she was in the mirror behind me. I turned and no one was there. But the air turned cold, my breath fogged, and in the silence I heard something I will never forget. A voice, not quite human, but broken, whispering. "He said he'd come back for me." I began digging through old archives on my breaks, eventually finding a small article from 1989 in the Times Colonist. It was an article about a man who had been killed tragically on Highway 1 in a car accident while on his way to visit his wife. His name was Roger Ellis. This must have been Marjorie's husband. She was lonely. She was waiting. That was what was going on. I began leaving a fresh flower near the mirror each shift. Lavender, which she used to grow, according to Lolita. On one such night, I looked into the mirror again, and she was there, Closer now, clearer. Her expression was sad but peaceful. She raised a finger and pointed, not at me, at room 120, long since converted into a storage closet. I unlocked it. Dust filled the air, an old bed sheet, some broken wheelchairs, and a box. Inside were Marjorie's personal items: a journal, a rosary, a single crumpled photo of a man. On the back of the photo was something written. It said, "I'll come back for you, always. R." I took the box and I left it in Marjorie's old room. That night, no lights flickered, no alarms went off, just silence. The next night, stillness, and for the first time, Waterview felt warm. Some say she's gone now, that Marjorie found peace. Others say that she still walks gently, quietly, watching over the residents, making sure that no one passes away alone. As for me, I still work the night shift, and sometimes, when I pass by room 114, I swear I smell lavender.